Israelites, we come in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America, and prophesy the salvation to our people, the children of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are calling the children of Israel according to the Holy Bible. The scriptures of Yahweh is the Father's name, Yahweh Shai being the Son's name, right? But before we do that, we want to give all glory and praise to the Father and the only begotten Son in their true name and the Spirit of truth in the Hebrew tongue. I want to say Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amad. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and double honors to our elder as well, our Harold Wan here in the Lions Den camp. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and salutation to the brothers that are pushing the truth around the four corners of the earth, man, in sincerity and truth. All right, today's topic is going on accountability. That's one thing that we lack. That's one department that we lack in our nation. You know, if you look at these other nations, they have a certain standard that they hold themselves accountable to, right? Family values, dealing with money, all types of things. They have some sort of a moral compass that they stick to from generation to generation to generation. But us, whatever land that we're in, those are the ways that we choose, or whatever ways are put in our mind, those are the ways that we choose to live according to our nation. And then what does that do? That divides us. And from there, what do? We point the finger at each other, not realizing that we need to look within ourselves and hold ourselves accountable to the standard of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's the only way that they're going to move on. All right, that's the only way we're going to progress as a nation. That's why the Most High Yahweh had to give us a standard to live by when we became to that Gentile state of mind. Somebody get Isaiah 11 and 10 real quick. And somebody get the definition of accountability.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10. And in that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
So that means a sign or a standard. All right, keep going.
To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Right, so us being in that Gentile state of mind, we needed a standard to be lifted up, or a measuring tool to be lifted up, or a sign for us to be looking upon, to have a focal point of that's the direction that we need to go. Right, and that's the standard that we need to hold ourselves accountable to, right? But right now, the majority of our people are holding themselves accountable to the standard whatever Esau throws at them, right? Which causes us to accept anything, right? So now we consider things like having a broken wrist as a man, right, as an acceptable way of living because that was forced upon us. But at one point in time, we didn't condone stuff like that. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it?
Right.
Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
Right, because the Lord did everything, Yahweh did everything he could do to create a perfect garden in his vineyard. But when he looked for it to bring forth grapes, it brought forth wild grapes, right? Not living according to the standard or the measure that he set.
Right.
All right, somebody get Revelations 11 and 1 real quick, please. So it's all about accountability. That's the problem with our people, man. We're going to go into how accountability is one of our weakest links. And that's what the Lord is going to use against us to judge us, man. He's going to hold us accountable to the standard that he set in place. All right, so that means 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed by not holding themselves accountable and looking towards that standard. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
So this is the standard. The rod is talking about the scriptures, man. We're measured according to the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that word became flesh through Yahweh Shai, man. So that's the standard that we're supposed to uphold and live up to. Deuteronomy chapter 4, real quick. I have given you statutes and commandments. Yeah. Yeah, let me get that definition of accountability.
This is accountability. The definition for accountability, it reads, is an assurance that an individual or organization is evaluated on its performance or behavior related to something for which it is responsible.
So we have a responsibility on this earth. We're not supposed to be on this earth living willy-nilly like these other nations, right? The Lord is going to hold us accountable to what He put us on this earth to do, right? And that, what is that? To spread righteousness on the earth. But what happened? We forgot our purpose. We forgot our cause. We forgot our heritage, which caused us, right, to start living according to the standards of these other nations, but not according to the Most High standards. Somebody got that Deuteronomy? 4:6.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Start at 4.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your power are alive, every one of you this day.
Right, so that's how we get everlasting life. Cleaving unto the Lord, man. Keep going.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me.
Right, and this is Moses talking to the people, man. All right, so the Lord, so it was a standard given unto him, right? That he was supposed to give unto the people that we were supposed to live by, right? And we would be blessed if we live according to those standards, but we chose not to. Keep going.
That you should like it, that ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
Right, so that's not only for that land, but any land we go, we're supposed to keep that standard and supposed to hold on to our heritage. But throughout captivity, we chose to take on the covering of the other nation. Just like in the garden, when Adam put leaves and figs upon his body, meaning he was going after the customs of these other nations, man. Not following what the Most High told him directly when he gave him the breath of life. Go ahead. That breath was taken away from him because of transgression. Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in sight of the nations.
You know how beautiful that is, to give a standard of way of living that results into everlasting life, and it was only given to you, not these other nations, and we took it and threw it to the side and chose to follow after these other nations, because one thing about it, we had to hold ourselves accountable according to that. There was a standard, right? And through laziness, right, and disbelief, we chose, like, we'll just go after this because it looks like they're having fun, and they ain't dying. But we didn't really understand what death was until we entered into that by disobeying Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And they did say that. They said, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So what did they do? They formed a confederacy against this great nation, the children of Israel, right? To get rid of those standards. Because what? These two prophets tormented them that walked the earth. According to these standards, it was torment to these other nations because they wanted to live how they wanted to live, not according to the standards of the Most High. So guess what? 2/3 of our people chose to follow behind that path and run behind these other nations. So now we have to hold ourselves accountable to get back right. Go ahead.
Precept, I'm gonna read this quick description from the prologue of Ecclesiastes chapter 39. It says a description of him that is truly wise. In verse 1 of Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 1, it says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
And once you do that, what is the first thing you do? You go in the mirror and you start carving all the wickedness. That once you start, that's why it says when you increase in knowledge, you increase in sorrow, right? Because we start to see all the folly. We've been doing it throughout our whole life. Now it's being revealed to us. And what is the first thing we have to do? We have to hold ourselves accountable for all the negative shit that we put in the earth. But not everybody's willing to do that. Somebody get John chapter 3 verse 19 real quick.
Hey, Con, if I may add on too, you know, I'm pretty sure people probably seen the movie Evan Almighty, man, when he first got had to go build another ark, you know. His beard started growing in constantly. He tried to cut it off. shave it, this, that, and the third, but it kept coming back. And then he started finally realizing, oh man, this is what the Lord chose me to do. He had something that he was chose to do, man. So once he started doing that and started taking accountability for what he was given, all right, then he started seeing things going smoother, things started going his way. All right, he was doing everything according to what the Lord was doing, but at first he was going against it, man.
And that's what we did as a nation. That's going against it. It's called rebelling. All right, and what he consider us, called us a rebellious nation. Go ahead and interject.
All right, this is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
You know, go ahead. Keep going.
Con, and I just brought that out to back up the bishop, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that the topic is on, man, taking accountability. And that's what each and every brother did once we came into this truth, man. We studied the scriptures. And we seen our transgressions against our power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And we do everything in our will and power to correct those things, man.
Can you imagine coming into the light of understanding of all the foolishness that you were a part of when you were in the world and didn't have Yahweh Shai? And we had to rely on the law to get back in the Most High's good gracious. That shows the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, having the understanding. I know they're gonna go off. I know they're gonna become wild grapes, right? But I'm gonna send a husbandman out there, right, to preserve my fruitful grapes, right, that are gonna turn to righteousness and turn away from wickedness and hold themselves accountable to the standard that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai set towards them. Because you think about it, what do we say as a nation of people? Women say there are no good men out here, all right? The men say all the women are harlots, right? There's some truth into that, though. There's some truth in both sides of the spectrum, but guess what? It becomes a blame game and a displacement of anger because you're mad at what looks like you, so you don't want to hold yourself accountable, so you start to condemn that, which really you're talking about yourself. Because these women are saying that there's no good men out here. That's because they're not good. They wouldn't know what to do with a good man if they had it. Same thing with men, right? The women don't know how to be women, and the men don't know how to be men. Because the men will be out here setting standards. That's why the Lord chose. That's why He said His tabernacles among the men. He's gonna put the men in order according to the standard of Yahweh Shai. Then the women will fall in line, those that are chosen to. So it's all about examining yourself, right? And being an example, just like how Yahweh Shai was when He walked on the earth. Any precepts? Go on. All right, go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So we are to continue in the things, like the bishop was saying. Once we come to the knowledge, we come back to the knowledge of, we must continue in it, because we once knew these things. The laws, statutes, commandments, being obedient, being accountable, continue in the things which we have learned. We was taught these once before, the laws, statutes, commandments, and has been assured of knowing, meaning we have confidence in these things. And we got to make sure of whom we learned it from. Who do we learn it from? We learned it from Yahweh Shai, through Moses and through the other prophets of old.
That's right. That's why Yahweh Shai was sent down here. And when he was exalted and lifted up to sit on the right hand side of the Father, we were supposed to stand in His place here on earth. And that's what He's going to hold us accountable. We have a responsibility as men of the Lord to stand in His place and continue in His footsteps. But guess what? The persecution that He went through, He said He's going to protect us from that. But still stand in His place. You know? So, somebody get that John 3:19.
All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 3, and verse 19.
We're probably going to bring this out a couple times today too, man.
And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and man love darkness rather than light.
Right, because when you're in darkness, you can't even see the what is that, putrefating sword? Somebody want to get that in Isaiah? The putrefating swords that are all over your body because of wickedness. That's why they want to keep the light off, because then they could blame the darkness, right? Because everybody want to blame Esau for everything. Everybody want to blame the darkness for everything, right? But when the light comes and shines in your face and you see what's going on with you, you want to turn the light back off. Who's to blame then?
This is Isaiah 1 and 5. It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
So we're out here looking like zombies, all cut up, sores everywhere, blisters everywhere spiritually on our bodies, you know? And then, but they don't want to see that on themselves, but they quick to point it at everybody else. That's what 2/3 of our people, not realizing that just because you want to, what's the word? They want to like remain neutral or agnostic on certain topics. You become, not only do you become the part of the problem, you are the problem. Because you're not searching for a solution. Because that solution involves you correcting yourself first. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. You have to have the Spirit of the Lord to do that, man.
Right. All them sores and sickness. Ephesians 5 and 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
So that's how we become cleansed, right? Oh, with that being said, let's jump right back into John chapter 3, verse 19, the washing of the word. First, before we get that, let's get John 15 and 1, man. Because Yahushua gave us clear instructions on how to become righteous and how to hold ourselves accountable and how to cleanse ourselves, man.
This is the book of John.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, my bad.
My bad. That was my fault. Zechariah 13 and 1. Real quick. Because
13.
Yeah, 13 and 1.
This is the book of Zechariah 13 and 1. In that day, there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness.
Man, so the Lord was like, I'm going to put that standard back on the earth for my people to live by. And I'm going to cleanse them according to that standard. We're being cleansed according to righteousness, man. But you got to hold on to that according to that light. So you got to see the sores that are all on your body in order for you to recognize it, for the Lord to help you heal them, man. So it starts with holding ourselves accountable and being in examples like Yahushua was when he walked the earth. That was it. Right.
Verse 2. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land.
And our people are filled with those unclean spirits, man, and our idolatry. So they rather hold on to that, because guess what? They don't have to, you can go to the church. What did the church say? Come as you are. They don't try to get you to correct nothing. They don't try to get you to fix nothing. All these other sects of religions that you can come as you are, you can still be dwelling around in folly, right? And you don't have to hold yourself accountable to anything. What was that? What was that? It was a video on TikTok that I seen that had TD Jakes on. It had a red suit on, and he talking about some I got the blood to help me out with that. I got the blood, meaning he can continue in his folly because he had the sacrifice of Yahushua covering him. So he doesn't have to correct himself, right? And that's the mindset of our people. They're not willing to hold themselves accountable, but the Most High will hold you accountable.
Hey, Con, they like to say, the Lord hate the sin and not the sinner.
Well, but you become the sin when you're the sinner, dummy. All right, go ahead.
1 second. For real. This is Matthew 12 and 36. It says, but I say unto you that every idle word, people like TD Fakes, every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account for in the day of judgment.
And that's not only your words, it's your actions too. The Lord's gonna hold you accountable for everything you say and everything you do on this earth. So you better be hoping you're living according to the standard that he set out here and measure us for righteousness, man. That light that he brought onto the earth as an example, that enzyme that was spoken of in Isaiah chapter 11, right? The sign to the Gentiles. That's what you better be focused on and correcting, because that's going to cause you to carve all the wickedness that you can out of your body, man, and let Yahushua do the rest. All right, let's get back to that John 15:1 real quick.
This is John chapter 15, verse 1. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husband.
Boom, the true vine. Let's go back to the vineyard that we're speaking of in the beginning, right? When it was bringing forth wild grapes. But there was the true vine still in the midst of that vineyard, right? And that's what we're going to cleave onto, the root of that vine. Keep going.
It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Right. So that's the washing of the word. He was the living word on this earth, speaking according to the Father's standard, holding us accountable according to that, and giving us an opportunity for salvation. By what? Correcting ourselves. Now let's get to that John 3:19.
All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and man loved darkness rather than light.
And that's a bold, powerful statement. That's a condemnation that Yahushua came into the world. That shows you how dark this place is. That's how it shows you that you got people with the hand on the light switch to stop you from flipping it on. Because guess what? That means they'll see the sores all over their body spiritually. Go ahead.
Because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil have the hate of the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds shall be reproved.
Right, because then they'll have to hold themselves accountable for what they see when the light comes. But they don't want to do that. They'd rather sit in the darkness, right, and make excuses as to why they can't hold themselves accountable. But the Lord's not looking at that. The Lord said, no, flip this light on and let me help you heal all these sores you got on your body. Keep going.
But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yahweh.
They're wrought in Yahweh. So that's the business that the elect are going to stand on. Accountability. They're going to stand on that 10 toes all the way to the end. Going to carve it out themselves until they reach salvation, man. That's something we're supposed to do daily, every day. Because we're not going to reach perfection until we get those new bodies. But we strive for perfection every day we open our eyes up, man. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 5:9. Wherefore we labor that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him.
And that's what we look. But how do you get that acceptance? According to his standards. Not how the church will tell you to come as you are. I wish you would show up to your house by Shimei Shach, tell us to come as you are. Yeah, all right.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body,
whether it be good or whether it be bad.
According to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Accountability.
All right. So he's gonna hold us accountable to that standard. And one thing, when it comes to accountability, look at Job. Even the Most High spoke of Job as being a pure, righteous man, right? But even Job, when he was going through what he was going through, was still looking within himself, holding himself accountable. But even though that what he was going through was just a test, to really show us that we can make it. And the word Job means to be hated. Go ahead.
This is Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore, just like Job did, just like Lot.
Go ahead.
Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Right. And that's the only way to stand.
Not to say, once again, to be able to stand before his judgment seat. That's when he's going to hold everybody accountable, the day of judgment. Yep.
So when you're being held accountable at something, there's a certain level of responsibility that you have, right? So if you fumble the ball, you can't go to the Lord like, yeah, I messed up. Nah, he gave us an outlet. We've been messed up a long time ago. But he gave us an out. He gave us Yahushua, man, which he didn't have to do that. He gave us a standard to live by, and he also within that gave us hope. Because still we wasn't gonna be able to, even though that standard was there, we still needed more to make it. So we needed hope. He put us in a position to where like we're the hopeful elect, right? And we're gonna hold ourselves accountable according to that standard, because we saw Yahweh Shai do it, man. And we saw what he went through to do it, not for himself, but for us. There's a big difference, man. He held himself accountable for our sins. Ain't that crazy? Somebody get John. Oh no, get this.
Hey, Con. Hey, no servant is greater than his master, man. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shai was sent down here to give that example of how to get to the kingdom, all right, for us, man. That way we can walk that same walk, man. So the things that he went through, we're going to go through it as well. And by us not taking that initiative to get out here and present our body as a living sacrifice, to trying to jump past all that, man. You know, trying to creep in underwear, all right? We have to go through that same path that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai went through, man. If not, hey, that's ducking accountability too as well, man. Because as a man, you're supposed to be out here presenting your body as a living sacrifice, beating the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai sheep, keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. And if you're not doing that, man, you're not being accountable.
Right, what especially Jake, man, what they quick to say, boy, I be out here in the streets taking sacrifices for my kids, bro. I gotta get it how I live. Jake quick to make sacrifices and hold himself accountable to some foolishness. But when it comes to really standing up as a man, they're not willing to do it. But that's why you have a certain chosen elect, right? That's why the scriptures say, put on as the elect, man. Not boasting and being overly righteous, but having abundance of joy because we have hope and salvation, and putting on as if like we're there, because guess what? The Lord Yahweh Shai said the kingdom of heaven is already here. It's here. We represent the kingdom of heaven. With just having that little speck of hope that will resort into us holding ourselves accountable and measuring ourselves according to the stature of Yahweh Shai, understanding when he shows up, we're gonna be just like him, man. That shit starts now. That shit starts now.
We gotta be Hancock, not when he was on the bench.
Not when he was on the
But when
bench.
he put that suit on.
Right.
Remember he put the suit on?
Yeah.
Started feeling himself a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta be, man.
Yeah. Not when he was drinking the bottle all day.
He was down and depressed and shit.
Right. All that depression and all that anxiety, the Lord got rid of all that.
You gotta put on as the elect. That's right.
Right. The Lord got rid of all that. It's a mindset. You got to train. Like sometimes we get caught up in this carnal mindset, man, and that's when fear comes into play. Fear doesn't always result into somebody cowering around like this. Fear could cause you to be moving in haste. Fear could cause you to be overly aggressive because you're trying to get rid of whatever it's caused you to feel anxiety. Fear could cause you to shut down, not say anything. Fear could cause you to get angry. You know what I'm saying? Fear could cause you to do so many different things because you don't recognize it as such. But once you recognize it and understand, it doesn't even exist. If anybody can remember, level 5, they were not allowed to do in the simulation room on X-Men. They were not allowed to go to level 5, right? Because here's the thing. What happens when you're in the simulation room, right, and you forget it's a simulation room and it starts to become real? You start thinking it's real. That's when fear jumps in. Same thing here on this earth, man. This is a simulation room. We think for a second we thought all this stuff was real. All this shit is make believe. All these.
Yeah. How real is it when we die?
Right.
When we leave this earth, how real was this place? How real was the love that we had? How real was the misery and depression?
It didn't exist.
How real was it in our past life? Can't even remember it.
Can't even remember it.
So the only thing real is this word, is his work and his word.
That's it.
And that's the only thing that follow you. That's the only thing that's going to be present. That's the only thing that's going to be for eternity. Is the Most High. That's why I say He exists. Everything else is, vanity.
Right.
And that's what we're here to learn. As spirits in this flesh, we're here to learn that this is nothing but vanity, and there's nothing outside of the Most High. And He's going to give all of this to us, but just don't love it more than Him.
Go ahead.
Well, this is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof.
Right.
But he that doeth the will.
These wicked women nowadays, you give them the world, they're going to leave you. You give them $1, they leave.
Well, you give them the world, they'll leave you and share it with somebody else.
Yeah, you give them your attention, they leave you. Shit.
You give them the world, they'll leave you and and go share it with somebody else. Right? And that's how it is. But that's how the Most High made it. Because, man, Apostle Dahar said it best, where he said, boy, some of the elect will be content with this place if we still had our women. The Lord had to take our women from us, man, for us to be able to focus. You see that in the garden. Adam chose to follow his woman instead of following the Most High. So the Lord had to hold him accountable. See, now you got to get out there and till the ground and work. Because you chose not to listen to me. You chose to listen to your woman. All right, so the Lord took that away from him. That's why he said your wife should be harlots in the streets, and he ain't gonna do nothing about it. And so you hold yourself accountable for what the standard that he set for us men. Right. And we gotta do that day in and day out. So all that other stuff don't matter. The only thing that matters for us to stand up on business, being the true image of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. And like they said, this is the living water. This is the work that's gonna follow you. You're getting paid spiritually through this work. You're getting built up, made strong, so you can be get your reward at the last end when Yahushua returns. When he says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," rather than the destruction that the 2/3 gonna catch for being rebellious and disobedient children.
You got something you want to say?
Ain't important, but that's like the Lord see us and we pointing at all the women.
Right.
Look at her, look at Eve. Look at Eve. He's like, no, look at you.
Yeah.
That takes accountability.
Right. Hey. That's what Adam did.
Yeah. Yep. What the Lord?
Hey, you know that woman you gave me, Lord? Bro, this woman, bro, she brought it to me. I ate it though. I did eat it though.
What scripture say, hey, a wicked woman is giving their portion to a wicked man, so it start with the man. So going back to accountability within self, man.
Well, that's why the Lord brought him that woman. Because he saw the ounce, the root of wickedness within Adam that he was going to draw out. And he's still drawing it out. That's why he brought him that woman. So, man, listen, the Most High is precise about everything that he does, bro. You got something you want to bring up?
I mean, you can break it down though. Where was it?
I hope so.
You can. It says here, 2nd Ezra 9 and 7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Accountability.
Yeah.
Shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case.
Oh, well, let's go back to the top. Let's go back to the top.
Go back to the top again?
Yeah. Let's go back to the top, because, man. Yeah.
All right, brother. Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom. We're talking with you earlier too.
Yeah.
In every verse 7, 2nd Ezra 9 and 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Works and faith whereby ye have believed, right? So a lot of disbeliefs come from not wanting to hold yourself accountable for what the Lord is telling and making you responsible for you to do. So a lot of people rather have disbelief, but I don't believe that. Nah, you believe it, you just don't want to do what it takes. You know what I'm saying? So now that disbelief little seed that was dropped in your mind manifests into something totally different, then you go way left in the opposite direction that the Lord's trying to draw us to. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 8. Shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land.
Right.
And
So now, man, I wish I knew. I've been looking for the scripture for a long time, but there's a scripture that says, put me in remembrance of the things that I promised you. Meaning, like, go to the Lord. Like, remember you told us if we do this, you're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? So now, read that part again, Saquon.
Shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders.
So that's what we hope for. Like, we hope, like, when we hold ourselves to the standard that the Lord told us to hold ourselves to, right? That we can hold him to the standard that he said he was going to do. He said he's going to preserve us from the said perils, right? And he never backed down on his word. So all we have to do is live up to the measure that he told us to live up to according to the stature of Yahushua, having him be in our focal point. Go ahead.
For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which have now abused my ways.
These are the ones that have a problem with accountability. Go ahead.
And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in the torment. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me.
And those gifts that destroyed their heart. They felt like because they was They was in good case for a while here on this side. Oh yeah, I'm doing everything right by the Lord. Can't you see? I got all these benefits, but you ain't know them.
Right.
All right, that's that gift that's gonna destroy your heart, man, destroy your mind. And you ain't gonna be able to hold yourself accountable because you ain't gonna know where the accountability is. Because guess what? The way to the tree of life is gonna be sealed off to you. You ain't gonna be able to get it. Somebody get Job chapter 13. Oh, you got something?
That point you just made.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods.
Right, the woman too. That's the first good we got.
Yeah.
God.
Right?
And say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart.
Right, because guess what? If we follow behind our own mind, that's carnal thinking. Because guess what? We think according to the experiences that we go through in life, right? So that's why we messed up in the head. All these trauma that we go through, we come through traumas coming out the womb. We come out the womb crying, and we gotta spend years with some individuals that we don't even know. We don't know these people, like for real. So now we gotta trust that these people are gonna take care of us. Like we go through so much traumatic stuff coming up through childhood just by being Jake. It don't matter if you came up in the suburbs or if you came up in the hood, you're gonna go through hell being Jake, man. Right? So it's gonna alter your way of thinking, separate you from the Most High. But that's why he has to change our mindset for us to be able to hold ourselves accountable. You gotta think differently to do that. Go ahead.
And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened to me?
Right.
For the Lord is
But
like,
hold on. Ain't that what Pastor Porkchop said?
Which one?
The one that you just did a lesson on. Talking about something. The Lord ain't struck me down yet.
Yeah, that's Look at him, man. He might be another professor, man.
Right. He looked struck though. He looked struck. Go ahead.
say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering; He will in no wise let thee go.
And the Lord finna let you, like, you know, I like to catch somebody's hand in the cookie jar, taking the cookie out. The Lord gonna let you eat all them cookies. He gonna let the jar be empty, crumbs everywhere. You still think you got away scot-free. Then he gonna show up. And that's when you're gonna realize you done messed up. Because the Lord is not playing. He gonna hold you accountable to two things: to his laws or to Yahushua. Those are the only two things, only two ways: his laws or according to Yahushua. You better hope you're on the side of Yahushua. You got a precept? Go ahead.
This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know that we are in him.
And that perfection comes with what? Right. You're not going to want to crucify Yahushua afresh. You're going to try your best to live righteously. That's why we still stand on the law, but we understand that we cannot be saved through the law. We're going to break them some kind of way. You know? That's why we have hope and salvation through faith in Yahushua. And living as righteous as we can living as righteous as we can live in this flesh, man. Not using the flesh as an excuse not to move forward, but carving away at the flesh to where the flesh gets so sick and tired of the spirit that it does what? It does what the spirit is telling it to do. Because in the beginning it was reversed. The spirit had to dwell in torment because the flesh was out there doing everything that the lustful eyes wanted it to do. Continuously trying to get this way back to the earth where it came from. And the spirit wants to dwell in righteousness where it came from. So it's a confliction between the two. That's why we have that battle within self. And that's what Romans chapter 7 Paul was talking about, man. You know, somebody got that Job 13 and 23.
Job chapter 13, verse 23. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgressions and my sin.
But that's what Job was talking, bro. Just how many? What's up, Lord? I see you persecute me. What else? What else you need to carve out of me? Let me know. Right? The Lord, like King David said, try my reins. You know what I'm saying? Looking to be purged of all iniquity. Somebody get Psalms 51. When you hold yourself accountable, you understand there's a responsibility.
51. The one.
Start where it says, "Thy desires truth in the inward parts." Is that 51?
Yeah, Con, this 51:6. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 6. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know.
5 real quick. Slide.
Verse 5, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me.
And what does that sound like? What does that sound like? Somebody holding themselves accountable, not blaming the environment that they were in, but blaming them being a part of that environment at one point in time, right? Wanting to be corrected. That's the type of mindset that we have to have in order to make it.
I was like that. He said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. He ain't blame them.
He ain't blame them.
Verse
He ain't blame
6.
them. That's what our people want to do. They want to play the blame game. Oh, nigga, you doing this. Oh, bitch, you doing all that kind of shit. And that gets us nowhere, bro. That's why you see, while they arguing amongst themselves, pointing fingers, that's why you see the elect being separated, holding ourselves accountable and being examples to each other. We seeing another brother go through some stuff that we might encounter in the future, and we look at their testimony and look how the Most High just lifted them up from that, right? And that creates hope within us that we can do the same thing. It becomes a chain reaction. So that's how we match energy, right? Handle that. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward part, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be withered than snow.
Right, whiter than snow.
White.
Right. So check this out. That comes from the light being turned on, right? And King David seeing that all that the swords that were on him and wanting to be cleansed, man. All right, go ahead.
This is Psalms 26:1. Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. Keeping the ways of the Lord. He didn't lose the Lord's ways. I have trusted also in Yahweh. He was proud of that.
Yeah.
Therefore, I shall not slide. Meaning he's not going to fall or backslide. Examine me, O Yahweh, and prove me. And that's what the Lord is doing with us now. He's examining us and he's proving us. Just like King David would prove the sword that he was fighting with before he was fighting with it. It says, try my reins and my heart.
Try your reins in his heart, man. So according to his innocence, his integrity, meaning his innocence, man, living righteously. And we want to be able to say the same thing. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians, I think it's 13:5. 13:5. Examine yourselves. Same way King David did.
Yeah.
Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves.
Prove your own selves.
Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Right. And Paul was speaking on that because there's a form of over measuring, right? To where when we look upon ourselves and see all the messed up stuff and and that bring forth doubt. But Paul was telling them, like, we're not reprobates. You know? We got hope through Yahushua, man, but still examine yourself and make sure we're always in the faith, man. Galatians 6:4. It's good.
It's Galatians chapter 6 and verse 4. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in any other.
Right. That's what we got to do. Yeah, just like Yahushua, man. Just like Yahushua.
He did that too. He held himself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this one for you real quick. Where is it? Here it goes. Let me see. Hebrews 7:26. It says, actually verse 25. 24. But this man, because he continued ever, hath an unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able, remember, had joy in himself and not in another, right?
Right.
Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto Yahweh by him.
Right.
Seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them.
Right.
For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sin,
Right.
and then for the people, for the people's.
Right. So he was the only one that could enter in the Holy of Holies clean. Right. The Levites had to do a sacrifice for themselves as a cleansing before they could sacrifice for the people. Right. Because there was none holy as Yahweh Shai. But he's still an example to those that are seeking that type of level of righteousness. Man.
Right. He took that walk before us.
Right.
He went up there and held himself accountable first, being the first Adam,
Right.
being Solomon
Right.
that sinned. Remember, so he received the punishment for that sin when he went up on the cross for himself and for us.
Right.
So he held himself accountable too,
Right.
for the Father. It said the creature is made subject to vanity, not willingly.
Right. You want to get it?
It's up to you. It's up,
Romans 8:20.
Yeah, you can rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish this real quick.
Right.
And, do you think? It says, "Who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself for
That's all
himself
he
and for us."
For him and us, bro. Right? What did it say? The first Adam was a living soul. The second Adam was a quickening spirit, man.
Quickening spirit. He's able to quicken us. That's right.
Able to quicken. Think now he can't quicken these mortal bodies? Yeah, he can. How? How? Through the way of thinking. Now check this out. Now, if stress deteriorates the body, right? What would hope and salvation do? It's gonna cleanse the body. Man, bro, you gotta understand when your brain operates a certain way, it gives off chemicals that puts pressure on the heart, cortisol in the body that puts stress on the muscles, right? Because you're worried about this, worried about that. But the Lord said, cast all your burdens upon him. So he gives us a newness of life. Man, I know y'all could tell when you first came into the truth, you feel more younger, you feel more vibrant and things like that. That's because the Spirit of the Lord has been ignited in us, and the body is reaping benefits from it, man. I got a scripture on that too. Somebody got that Romans?
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 20.
Start at 19 or 18.
Verse 18. It says, "For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us."
So now, with us holding ourselves accountable, we're going to go through pressure, right? But it ain't going to amount to the glory that's going to come behind that, man. All right, keep going.
Right. Like what was Neo before he became Neo?
He was working in a cubicle.
That's it.
Nothing.
So, you know what I mean? Can't compare it to what he became.
No.
What was Yahweh Shai when he was in the earth? He was a commoner, the carpenter's son.
Time.
Who are we? See that? We ain't get. It's not known yet where we shall be. Our time coming.
Right. So when we hold ourselves accountable, we can no longer dwell in doubt. We have to alter our way of thinking, and he's going to quicken these mortal bodies. Somebody, real quick interjection, give Proverbs 14 and 30, I think.
We're like that tip of the iceberg sticking out of the water right now.
Gone.
There's a whole nother mountain to us.
A whole nother mountain that you can't even
Spirit
see.
realm. Yep.
18 and 30.
14 and 30, I think.
That will be seen.
Yeah.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones.
A sound heart is the life of the flesh, man. What is that? First,
They're rotting away. These damn people hating and
right.
they're rotting.
Right.
Kirk keeper.
Precept.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 30, start at verse 21. It says, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own count. It's like that's the wrong one.
No, that's
good.
good.
Hey, come. All right, let's start with the 10.
That's good. Go ahead.
Come.
Yeah, I was gonna get that one, but you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, because this world will do that to you.
Yeah.
This world will have you doubting and beating yourself up, belittling yourself, pushing yourself more into the corner. But the Lord said, the Lord's men shall not be pushed to the corner no more.
Right. We're not supposed to back into the corner because we see all the world has brought us through and all the
They call it
swords.
the sunken place.
Right. We go back into the sunken place. We're supposed to come out of that place. But we're thinking we're going back into the sunken place, but it's really us realizing where we were at and where we're being brought from. You ain't got to look back to that place no more, man, because the Lord's not going to take us back there anymore. Once we come into the light, we're into the light to stay. The only thing that tries to make you think that you're in darkness is deception. But that's why we have to alter our mind, our way of thinking, and think righteous thoughts of Yahweh Shema Shai. Go ahead.
It says, give not over thy mind to heaviness,
And which makes accountability a lot more easier. Go ahead.
and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
Right. So when you're trying to measure yourself, and, and you see how many times you fell short of the mark, that doesn't mean you start kicking, just, you know what I'm saying, down on yourself. No, that means like, I've been through all this and you're still willing to give me the opportunity of salvation. Wow, what an awesome power this is. Let me keep moving forward in that direction. That's how we're supposed to think about it. Because our minds are trained to think everything and think about everything into a negative light. We got to think of negative about everything. No, we think positively now. That's how we move forward. Not because when you start thinking negative about something righteous, it doesn't make sense. We begin to moonwalk, start moving backward, but thinking we're moving forward. But no, get rid of those thoughts. When you start holding ourselves accountable, right? Just like when you want to work out, you look at your body in the mirror. You done gained the beer belly. You know what I'm saying? You got a little third neck going up under there. Now you want to try to get rid of that. But after a month, if you don't see any results, after you don't see any changes, you don't give up. You don't start doubting yourself. You work even harder until you start to see the results that are being performed in you by Yahweh by Shema Shai.
A lot of men won't do that until a woman shows up in their life. But we got to have that without the women. You got to have just that drive in you,
Right.
to want to be the greater version of yourself,
Right.
for the Lord.
Right. And then you'll witness everybody trying to take that away from you.
Yeah.
That's what you have to prepare yourself for.
And the Lord watching. He know when a woman show up in your life, all of a sudden you want to get active and shit.
Yeah, start doing push-ups and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Here, man. When you at the gym.
Now you're wearing tank tops and shit all the time. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Verse 22 of Sirach 30. It says, the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
So why should we be in sorrow if we got the good news and we're supposed to spread the good news? You know? Where's the sorrow in that? People are really gonna think we crazy when this shit hits the fan and our mind is still intact. People gonna think something going on with us. People are gonna start thinking that we're delusional. No, they are, because they have no hope. Guess what? The Lord told us what's gonna happen before it even happened. And man, put your suit on. I'm finna bring hell on the earth.
Yeah, it's gonna be like watching them. You know, back in the old poppy stores, or little Jamaican spots down here.
Yeah.
And you see that damn buzzer they got in the corner, and them flies just going right into it. Zoop, zoop. That's how it's gonna be.
We used to have one of those on the porch when I used to live in the country. And I used to sit there and watch that shit at night.
That's how it's gonna be. As we get closer to this,
Uh-huh.
you would think people will wake up. No, they're gonna run faster into the fire. But as they get closer, when they get real close, they're gonna be like them lambs that just try to run into the oven for safety.
Right.
They're gonna run right into it.
Run right into it. Why? Because of their altered way of thinking, deception,
Yep.
fear. Fear is not going to allow them to have a sound mind. That's why the Lord said He didn't give us the spirit of fear; He gave us the spirit of power and love, and of a sound mind, man.
Hey, Con. That's why Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times, man. We won't be running here, running there, left and right like a chicken with our head cut off. We're going to stand firm, you know. Why? Because the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, gave us this knowledge and wisdom and understanding to be able to withstand these times that's coming up, man.
Right? You're going to see the elect getting really active once the stuff that when like the prophecies are coming to pass, but when they really start hitting, And you can look around and smile. I told y'all, motherfuckers. I told y'all. But the thing about it, that's going to increase faith and increase hope, and not only into you, to the ones that believe what you were saying, bro. See how the Lord is using us as channels of hope, and in place of Him not being on this earth. That's why we have a duty and a responsibility as men to become a shadow for the winds that are to come, man. A covering from the destruction. Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
In verse 23 of Sirach 30, love thy own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein.
I wish I had that scripture when I did my mental health lesson, but that's fire right there. Read that again.
Verse 23 of Sirach 30, it says, love thine own soul.
But we're not taught to do that, though. We're not taught to love ourselves. That's why we point the finger at each other, man. That's why we don't hold each other accountable. Because therefore, if you don't love yourself, you can't love nothing that looks like you, man. All right, go ahead.
Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein.
There's no profit in dwelling in sorrow, man. You putting your mind in torment, thinking about bullshit that ain't even gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Esau ain't finna rule forever. Esau, man, listen. Esau is slowly being deteriorated. Now I can't even say slowly anymore, man. The Lord doing, man. The Lord's getting rid of this devil, man. The Lord's gonna hold him accountable. I can't wait to see that though. The Lord gonna hold Esau accountable, boy.
Hold that nigga accountable.
Oh, that nigga too.
Right?
You seen the rap video?
The devil knew who to send out.
The devil know who to send out there. The Lord gonna hold you accountable.
Go, go.
Go get him.
Verse 24, Sirach 30, envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. A cheerful and good heart.
Right, carefulness.
Yeah.
That goes into watching over money, watching over the women too much, stock market shit.
Yeah.
You know, all the stresses that go with life.
Right.
Make people sell out, you know, because they're watching over it too much, watching over their riches and wealth too much.
As soon as they lose a penny, they go panic.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Like you go to these jobs nowadays.
Yeah.
You got entertainment job, but then you go to these regular blue collar jobs. They old as shit. You know, like they be young, but they look old and they demeanor stressed.
Right.
Thank you. They look stressed.
Yeah.
You know, you got elderly. I'm talking about old. They look old.
Yeah.
Like they, you know, they're drained.
They say black don't crack, but certain jobs be cracking them. Like Jake started to look old as hell now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Esau.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that. Read that again, bro.
Verse 24 of Sirach chapter 30, envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Right, that's the pork chop.
No.
He don't have no care what he eat. You know?
No.
They don't have no care.
That's why he don't have a care. He don't have self-care. All he does is he want to dwell in sin and folly and lust. He got a lust spirit in his stomach. You know, most of us got a lust spirit in our loins. It's hard to control.
Well,
his is in the stomach.
The poem got monsters in my belly.
Yeah. That was it. All right, let me get care for self, man. Meaning carving whatever that you need to carve out of you in order to please the Most High. Please do that. Look, can we get Job 13 and 23 again? And after that, Galatians, and do Galatians 6 and 4, but start at 3. I meant to say start at 3 the last time.
This is Job 13 and 23. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgressions and my sin.
Hey, that's a powerful, bold statement, because you praying to the Lord like, boy, how many times I done did this? How many times? Boy, You be trying to hide stuff from the Lord, knowing you can't hide it from him, but he's willingly putting it out there. Let me know, reveal unto me all my iniquities, all my sins.
Yeah, that's when he pull out that toilet paper with all that list. Nigga, all your sins right here. You sure? All right, there you go.
Hey,
And then we ended up here and shit.
Hey, that's how he gonna do IUIC.
Yeah.
He gonna roll that toilet paper out there, scroll out.
Yeah.
They gonna wish they knew the name then.
He asked the Lord to show us our sins. We ended up in slavery. Like, damn.
What a sign that? Show me my iniquity. There it goes. There it goes right there. That's the Lord showing us our sins and our iniquities.
Yeah.
Holding us accountable.
Like, you sure you ready for this ride?
So you ready for
Blue pill or
this
red pill?
Hey, but that tightens some of us up though.
Yeah.
That tightens some of us up.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back down that road. So
Yeah.
we're glad we got Yahushua to keep us away from that. Because if we didn't have Yahushua, we'd be right back in that again. Because of transgression. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have no way out. We can't find our way out of a wet paper bag. At all. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need Yahushua, man. Galatians 6:3, was it?
This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 3.
Psalms 32:3.
For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
So a lot of people out here deceive, and they don't have the knowledge to really hold themselves accountable and move forward in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead. You got an interjection?
Con.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2. If any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know.
And one thing that true accountability does, it opens your mind to corrective criticism. Right? So if a brother comes to you like, yo, I noticed you doing this, that, and the third. Hey, I went through it too. You know, here's some things that I did. You know, the Lord showed me that helped me through this process, whatever, whatnot. And you'll be receptive to things like that, you know, and you'll be willing to change. You'll be willing to hear. A lot of people have a hard head, and you can't penetrate anything on it. So when you try to give them corrective criticism, because of their lack of accountability and unwilling to open to communications, right? They see it as an attack and they reject it. But that's what 2/3 of our people are doing. They're rejecting the Lord, showing them how to hold themselves accountable and correct themselves. That's they want to stay in the darkness. Go ahead.
Galatians 6:4. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone.
The proof is in the pudding, man.
I already did.
He did. He did. It's right there. There's no way around it. So we can't do it to the magnitude that he did. but there's levels to this. You know, we can do it according to the standard that he set before he left his earth. You know, that's why he built the apostles up before he left. He made sure they were good. They had everything they needed. Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I would rather glory in my infirmities than the power of a Mashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress, for Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong.
Right, that's all about creating a new man. Like when I was a child, I did childish things, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And what does it take? You're gonna have to go through that. So you take pride in all the reproaches and things that and all the infirmities that you go through, right? Because it's correction and making you into a perfect being in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But you have to be willing to go through that. Go ahead.
James 1:4 and 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
Perfect. Whoa, entire, wanting nothing, man.
Yep.
That's what the correction does. But you gotta humble yourself first.
Yep.
You can't be corrected if you way uphill.
Yep. Patiently waiting on the Lord. Not wanting your woman to leave, not wanting her to stay. Not wanting people to go, not wanting them to show up. Not wanting anything out of this life, any desires. Not wrestling with fear, emotions, doubt, insecurities. See, this is the Lord is building us to make us entire, meaning complete. And what he envisions us as for his son Yahweh Shai. That's right, man. Not wanting nothing anymore from this.
Not wanting nothing.
Yep.
Not lacking anything. Man.
This Job 38:3. Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. So we got to give an answer to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right.
And not cowering giving that answer. We got to give that answer as a man. We got to stand up as men talking to the Lord.
Yeah, can't point to Esau.
Can't point to him.
No.
Because you know what I'm saying? The Lord showed us a way how to sidestep him. It all comes from us, man. We are to be the examples here on this earth. Somebody got Psalms 32:3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 32, and verse 3. When I kept silence, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long.
God.
For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me.
God.
My moisture is turned into the drought of summer.
That's Psalms 32.
Hey, Nakala, Shalom.
Yeah. Go, keep going.
Are you Hebrew Israelites?
Let me start from the top
That's
again.
what Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 3. When I kept silent, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long.
God.
For day and night, thy hand was heavy upon me.
God.
My moisture is turned into the drought of summer.
God.
I acknowledged my sin unto thee, and my iniquities have I not hid.
Right. So we confessed our sins to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and our iniquity we didn't hide. Right? Because what did we want? We want clarifications. We wanted to be reproved. We wanted the ways of righteousness, the path of righteousness. So we had to understand and recognize ourselves, hold ourselves accountable for the things that we're doing when we're in the world. So we can acknowledge that and put that man to rest and become that new creature in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua moving forward. Go ahead.
I said, I will confess my transgressions unto the Lord.
Right. And that's what we do as men of the Lord, man. Confess our transgressions unto the Lord, not walk around here thinking we got the laws and we're perfect. No, that's not how we're going to get it. That was it.
And thou forgivest the iniquity of my sin.
And that's the hope that we got. The forgiveness in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right. Psalms 119 and 59. All right.
Job 17 and 9. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that have clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. That's clean hands, like, hey, I'm sins before you. You know?
Right. That's the only way you can cleanse them, man.
Yep.
You stand for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and declare unto him your sins. He already know them. Well, it's just the fact that, like, you coming to the acknowledgement, yeah, all right, I understand my faults, right? Let me move forward. Because guess what? What we gonna do? Blame the law? Because before the law, we didn't know what sin was. And then when the law was brought for us, right? Is it the law's fault? He said, no, he didn't find fault in the law, he found fault with us. Not for him to make the new covenant, he didn't find fault in the law, he found fault in us. Right? But made a way for us to get to that new covenant, man, through Yahweh Shai. All right, go ahead.
Hey, thinking about it, it's like a standpoint as a child being in the household, you know, accountability is like a first step to responsibility, you know. Hey, you be in the house by 10 o'clock. You get in at 10:30, hey, my bad, Dad, I'm sorry, yada, yada, woo, woo. You know what, hey, That's good, man. Now I can trust you a little more. You taking accountability of your actions, what you did. You explained to me why you got in late, this, that, and the third. Same thing with the Lord, man. You come and address all your faults to him, man. Hey, he's seeing that you taking that first initiative, that first step to being responsible, man. You know, like who is the Israelite to who pertain to the adoptions, you know? So you will take on all this responsibility and accountability. You admitting your faults to the Lord. Let those that name the name of the Lord depart from iniquity, all right? You admitting this. All right, and now you're taking on the responsibility of doing the things that Israelites supposed to do. Hey, that's what's pleasing to the Lord, man. Now you finna start getting out here, present your body as a living sacrifice, feeding the Lord, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai sheep, so forth and so forth, man.
Right. That's awesome. That's what your dad did? No. I used to dog my shit and still get my ass what? Go ahead, y'all. What's up?
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 4. By humility and fear of Yahweh Shai are riches and honor and life.
All right, so the humbleness of coming to the Lord, that's what riches and sound of life. What do you say, sound? What do you say?
By humility and fear of Yahweh Shai are riches and honor and life.
Right, riches and honor and life. That's what true riches and honor and life. That's where glory comes in. Not having money. So that money can deceive you into thinking that you're righteous, but you really ain't. You know? Somebody get Psalms 119 and 59.
This is Psalms 119 and 59. It says, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies.
Well, how many people do that, boy? How many people are willing to do that? Only the elect that I know of. Read that again, Baba Kushan.
Psalms 119 and 59. It says, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimony.
Right, man. If our people will humble themselves and just pray and seek the Lord's face, he'll heal them. But it starts with doing this. Let's read it one more time, please.
And then the verse after that.
Yeah.
Psalms 119 and 59. It says, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimony.
So your path, you thought on his ways, right? And then you understanding the ways that you were dealing with at the time were the ways of destruction. So what do? You turn your feet, your path towards Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, and walking in a different direction. Keep going.
Verse 60 says, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
Laid haste and delayed not to keep his commandments, man. And what is one of those commandments? Believing and having faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai?
Yeah.
Well,
That's the opposite. Proverbs 1, let me get to the point. 29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. They say those that don't want to come to the light.
right,
So that the deeds should be reproved.
right, because they want to dwell in darkness because they're wicked, man.
Yep.
They want to dwell in wickedness. Go ahead.
Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices.
Look at your boy Pastor Porkchop, Captain Tazariak, right? So they're gonna eat the fruit of their own way, but they don't want to turn at the Lord's reproof, because that means they'll lose that character that they created in this earth, man. They want to continue. They want to continue as Captain Crunch and Bishop Nate the Snake, and all these other characters that they created. Gorilla Hebrew. These are like fictional characters that they want to hold on to, and they will lose all that if they turn to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai wholeheartedly. Go ahead.
Right. Romans 10 and 3. For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves into the righteousness of Yahweh.
And that's a part of accountability and responsibility. You got to submit to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? And now they want to hold themselves to a standard that they created, and it's not according to righteousness, man. Even Yahweh Shai said, "Why thou callest me good?" There's only one good, but the Father, man. So we got to go according to His standard. Go ahead.
Matthew 16 and 24. Then said Yahweh Shai unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
Well, I ain't even had it. Let me put that in.
Matthew 16, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You got to deny yourself, man.
Yep.
You got to deny that character that the world, the earth created. You know what I'm saying? Through the experiences that we've gone through in life. Like, you know, trauma is a result, a reason behind certain action, not an excuse. You know, we can't keep pointing the finger at Esau. We can't keep pointing the finger at the men. We can't keep pointing the finger at the women, right? We can't keep pointing the finger at this society, because really, the Lord gave us a way to go around that. We got to go according to His word.
Right. Yeah. When you meet anybody, you most likely meeting trauma.
Right.
You meeting all the trauma of somebody that they had from their childhood. And us being men, we made as builders, so we're able to build each other up.
Right.
So the women, they should come to us to get built up.
Right.
So when you meet a woman, she got all that trauma.
Right.
Just like we got trauma. So
Right.
two people that traumatic together, they become dramatic. Drama.
Bars.
That's a bar,
I'm gonna
yeah.
use that in the rap verse.
Yeah, I told my children my new nickname was Bar Fuego. Well, go ahead, bro. You got it. Go ahead.
I'm right there. Bar Fuego. Okay.
Take the notes.
Hey, don't get mad if you hear that again, okay?
Yeah, you funny as shit.
All right, let's get Jeremiah 31:19.
That's right, man.
Come on.
So it's all about that trauma.
Come on.
You know, how can you follow anybody out here that's not trying to deal with that trauma?
Right.
And the only way to deal with it is not going to see a psychologist, it's going to see the physician that can heal us.
Come on.
And that's through the scriptures.
Come on.
All right.
Jeremiah 31:19.
Lamentations 3 and 40.
Surely after that I was turned, I repented. And after that I was instructed, I smote upon my thigh. I was ashamed, yeah, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth.
And we got to bear the reproach of our youth, right?
Yeah,
But from there, like Paul said, when I was a child, I put away childish things.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's another one I got to get. Hold on. Let's get
Quick interjection.
yeah, go ahead.
This Proverbs 28:13.
Ecclesiastes.
He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief.
Right. That's for somebody that wanna blame shift and not hold themselves accountable for their actions on the earth and want to blame everything else and move forward and not follow it. It's gonna lead them all the way to destruction, man. You want to speak on it a little bit?
No, that was on point. Accountability, man. Self-awareness, then accountability, man.
Self-awareness. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You want your interjection first? Go ahead.
This is Titus 3:3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful and hating one another.
Right.
But after the kindness and love of Yahweh Bashmi our Savior toward men appeared, and we all was lost, following after the ways of the heathens, and the Lord woke us up to the truth, you know, and we followed him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it is.
Like child will follow behind anything. Just like children. Yeah.
Just back up to Ephesians 4:22. You know, dealing with the old trauma from our childhood, man. You can't carry that with you in this truth. You got to become a new creature. You got to become of the moral value that the Lord told you to value.
Okay.
You know, the different characteristics. Pick up those and tag them to yourself.
Okay.
You know, see yourself in the picture that the Lord sees you in, right? Not through what the world sees you as, or what you saw yourself as being lied to,
Right.
or what your family told you are, or what your ex-women or your women you with tell you are, or give you hints that you ain't shit because you ain't got no money, you know, or you're what's called that? When you're confident about yourself, they'll say you're arrogant.
Yes.
All right. Ephesians 4:22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt, according to the deceitful lust. Just like the brother was talking about.
And that old man was a childish version of who you're supposed to be.
That's right, man. The worldly version is right. And be renewed by the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in the righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speaking every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one body.
So we got to protect the body, right? If I'm the foot, I got to hold myself accountable for my job as being the foot. But the arm can't tell me that I ain't worth nothing because I'm the foot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See how the body gets fitly formed together, we become men of the Lord, man.
You cut up that pinky toe, you ain't walking right.
You ain't walking right, bro. You ever had turf toe? You ain't playing this game.
Yeah, man.
For real. Right, so we become men of Yahweh Shem Shai, no longer children in the world. Bring it out.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, starting at verse 8. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity.
Right. So those days of darkness were when we were children in the world, right? Just going to and fro, not having no true form of understanding, being immature in our mindset. Go ahead.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the ways of thy youth.
That's what we were doing, though. We were rejoicing in our youth when we was out here in the world, man. Right? Go ahead.
And walk in the ways of thy heart, in the sight of thy eyes, but know thou that for all these things Yahweh will bring thee into judgment.
Right, because we're walking according to the flesh. That's why Paul said, when I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things, man. Go ahead.
Verse 10, therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity.
Right, so we no longer that child in the world, because we're in the form, we're involved in vain things, man, that was going to lead us to our destruction. Matter of fact, keep going. This is what we should be doing in our youth. Chapter 12, verse 1.
Time. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
So when we become born again in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, we're in the youth, right? But we're remembering our creator in our youthful state. Now we're no longer being children tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine.
And,
right?
Yeah. And also that means too, when you're young.
Come
I'm saying while you're young, serve the Lord, man.
Come
Don't be out here stressing over these women. Stressing about life and you know, 20 from 18 to 40, from 18 to 50, you're basically a young man. You know, I don't know. Look at the house side, I don't know, man. 60 is like young now. He give me hope.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just being real, man, with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we in our young age, you know, they would try to send you to the military, to college, you know, get these crazy careers or chase a woman or be sad about a woman or some Boys II Men shit. Listen to all that love music from the 70s and 80s that brainwashed us. But really, we should be focused on serving the Lord and working.
That's it.
They said we're gonna survive by the sweat of our brow. So as men, that's what we're supposed to be focused on. And the Lord said, "Seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and everything else should be added to you." But but in this world, they teach us to seek everything.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall be added to us. Nah, that's the wrong way. That's hustling backwards.
Yeah.
We're supposed to seek Him and seek being the man that He called us to be, and then everything will be added to us, man.
Then we'll be responsible enough to gain the things that He wants us to have.
Right, and do it while you're young, before you get old in age and on your deathbed, and then all of a sudden you want to call on the Lord. Or do it now before all hell break loose, and then when hell break loose, that's when you want to call on the Lord. And, you know,
no, I ain't gonna work.
it's too late.
All right, go ahead. Some Lamentations 3:40. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is Mark chapter 8 and verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? The powers of this world want us to focus on the vain things, that is no good for you. We're supposed to desire the sincere milk that's going to cause the bones to grow, make it strong in this truth, make it seek the Lord that much harder. That's how we get to the kingdom.
Right. I'm thinking, man. 17, the Lord snatched me up.
Make you tough as nails, man.
Right.
I remember I got my cousin, man. He and I are the same age, right? But you know, our generation, they used to put us through real hell, man. They said we're gonna make you tough as nails. And I used to go through more stuff than anybody else, because when we moved from the country and moved to the city, they thought I became a little city boy, and they used to pick at me all the time. So like, you know, they used to wake us up 2, 3 in the morning to go hunting in the pitch black, dark, walking through woods and stuff like that, can't even see what's going on in front of you. Like that's the kind of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, my uncle used to always say, I'm gonna make you tougher than nails, right? But that's what the Lord's doing to us spiritually, man. You know, that's why when we it says, as you newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word that you may grow thereby. That's how we get our strength, you know? That's how we get our livelihood, our vibrance, man. And then that's how we're able to accept the accountability and the responsibility of being men of the Lord. All right.
Lamentation.
Yeah.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 3 and verse 30. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord, Yahweh Shimi Hawashah.
Search and try our ways and turn to the Lord, Yahweh Shimi Hawashah, man. And that's our duty on earth, man. That's our duty on earth. Was that Ecclesiastes 12 and 12? This is the duty of man, something like that.
12-13.
12 and 13. I was close.
What you want?
Yeah. Bring it out.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's a level of accountability and responsibility that the Lord is holding us to, man. But within that, we have hope because we know we're going to fall short of the mark. That's where Yahweh Shai steps in. Well, that's not where he steps in. He steps in from the beginning. But you know what I'm saying? He's our example for us to seek after righteousness according to his righteousness, man. Because our righteousness is at 50 rags. You know what I'm saying? All right. Any more precepts?
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
This is the book of John. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Salakia. This is the book of John, chapter 8, starting at verse 1. Yahweh Shai went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahweh Shai stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So verse 7, so when they continue asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Boom. So they're willing to hold her to a level of accountability that they weren't willing to hold themselves, man. Because we're all worthy to be stoned, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was a beautiful precept too, bro. That was a beautiful precept. Bro, and that's what's wrong with 2/3 of our people. They'll see us coming out here doing the work of the Lord, right? But they want to condemn us and talk shit about us for what we're doing, right? One thing that separates from us from them, when we're holding ourselves accountable for what we did in the earth. And we're making good with Yahweh Shimi Hawashah by us presenting our bodies as living sacrifices. But they're not willing to do that. And we understand the struggles behind that. But when they see us struggling, they think that we're struggling for our downfall. Just like they thought when Yahweh Shai was on the cross, they thought he was at his lowest point. When he was at his highest point at that time. Just like how we are by presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice, we are at our highest point. Our highest point of salvation, our highest point of hope, man. You know, so that shows us, for us being willing to carve deep within ourselves and correct ourselves, that shows a different characteristic of a human being. Just like how Yahweh Shai was able to do the same thing, man. So that shows the mindset that we have, the mindset of Yahweh Shimi Hawashah. Any more precepts? None? You got one?
I got one. I'm not sure if I brought it out already, but this is Isaiah 52 and 1. You can break it down. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments.
Yeah, you gotta put on when you're in the military, you gotta wear a uniform. And there's responsibilities behind that uniform. Yeah. Same thing, we gotta put on our covering. Our covering is Yahweh Shimi Hawashah, and there's responsibility behind that. Awake out of sleep, man. Hold yourself accountable for the shit you did in the earth and move forward in correction in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Right, take some initiative.
Right.
For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and unclean. Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, meaning take your position.
Right. Get your ass up out of that dust with Esau.
Right. Get up off the damn mud and sit on the throne.
Right.
O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Boom. So can you think about it like this here? Now the serpent in the garden was the most subtle of all creatures in the garden, right? And it's cursed that he shall roll around on his belly in the dust, being in confusion, right? And guess what we did? We got right down there with him. Now there was nobody sitting in the throne, right? In a seat. The Lord put Esau there and left us in the dust, right? Now Esau ruling the earth. Now it's time for us to come up. Somebody get 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 7. We got to come up out of the dust, man. Show initiative, man. Take hold of a responsibility that was given to us by the Most High. You don't get no realer than that. We do it at these jobs. Man, Esau give you a good position and praise you in front of the whole company, man. You take that shit with pride. You try to be the best, whatever it is you can be. Now you're given a sense of authority and responsibility by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. What you gonna do with it? Somebody got it? 2 Kings 2:7. Or maybe 1 Kings 2:7. 1 Kings 2:7.
This is 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 7. But show kindness unto the sons of.
No, that ain't.
That's
that
a.
ain't. 2 I know it. That go well. I ain't sure. This is 1st and 2nd Kings 2 and maybe 2 and 4 and 4. 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 2. Lifted up out of the dust. I kill and make alive. No, 1 Samuel 2 and 7. It's like
This is 1 Samuel 2 and 7.
I mean, come out of the dust,
2 and
right?
6.
You gotta come out the dust. You gotta show forth that initiative, man. Right? Lord gave it to us, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like when Yahweh Shai was on the cross and he called out to the Father, why you forsaken me? The Lord's like, you sitting there, you got the power to give up the ghost. What you doing? Right? It's time for us to take that same initiative. Now that we're presenting our body as a living sacrifice, now our mindset needs to be getting out of this earth and being up there with the Father, even though our flesh is down here. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. We got to come up out of the dust.
1 Samuel 2 and 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Right. So now we've been down there wallowing in the dust with Esau, right? Fighting with him, pointing the finger at him like it's his fault. But the Lord told him, go and stand up. That's just like I don't know if y'all seen the Kevin Hart when he said he was swimming with the dolphins or with the manatee or with the stingrays or something like that. And he was in some water where he could stand up in, but some water splashed in his face. He just thought he was drowning. But everybody just like, bruh, just stand up. And we around here wallowing around in the dust fighting against each other. And the Lord just telling us, bro, just stand up. Like you're not drowning. Just stand up. Go ahead.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Right.
The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
And what is he finna do? Go ahead.
He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
Well, so let's go back to the rich man and Lazarus. It's our turn right now. But we gotta show forth initiative. It said the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. That's what we set here to do, to take the kingdom. But we can't do that being lazy and lackadaisical. Nah, man. We gotta show it. We gotta want it more than they don't want us to have it. And that's just it. We gotta want it more than they don't want us to have it. They really don't want us to have it. Revelation chapter 11 will tell you that. They did all that, so we couldn't have it. They sent postcards back and forth, rejoicing that they had us in the dust, just so we couldn't have it. Go ahead, read that again, Baba Kashan.
He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifts up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory.
The throne of glory. So come up out of the dust, oh virgin. Put on that strength. You know what I'm saying? Put on our strength. Put on our beautiful garment, man. The garment of righteousness, which is Yahushua, man. That's what we should be wearing right now. Go ahead. That was it.
Yep. Our people desire all this freedom. Oh yeah, freedom. They want all these riches, but they're not willing to do what it really takes to become truly rich.
Right.
You know, they want to serve the Most High, but they don't want to serve Him with all their heart.
Right.
All right. This is Proverbs 13. There's like people that want the championship without playing the game. Who is that sat on the bench his whole life, but he got on the championship? Sally? What's his name? Sally.
John Sally?
John Sally. Yeah, he's like John Sally. They got that John Sally spirit.
They got it with Detroit.
Yeah, they want the chip. They want the championship, but they don't want to play in the game.
No.
It's like bouncing team to team.
Yeah.
Whoever winning. Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard desires. See that? And have nothing. All right, so they're desiring all this thing, but they'll never get it. But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
Yeah.
You know, so the word fat goes into riches and greatness. So the soul of the wise is going to be enriched with joy and all these different characteristics that the brother's talking about.
Right.
Accountability.
Right. And showing that initiative is really the representation of putting on as the elect. Yep. Showing that will and that drive, that desire for the kingdom, for apt to teach. Right. You know what I'm saying? That shows that's putting on as the elect.
Right. That's the raising of the hand.
Good. You got another one?
Yeah. Oh, somebody got one? I just heard somebody.
Right, go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians 6:2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
So we gotta put our mindset put our place in the mindset of being able to judge the smallest matters and judge them righteously. That comes with messing up sometimes, being corrected, studying, and experience.
That was it.
Hey, experience come from messing up, and 2/3 of our people, a lot of them don't even want to take the initiative to start just because they scared to mess up, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, no man is worthy of the kingdom who taking his hand from the plow, but same thing too, by not even putting your hand forth to the plow, man. You know, it's just like, say, hey, you see somebody out here getting beat up or whatever the case may be, you see something, you don't say nothing, shit, you part of the problem too.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, hey, shit, if you're not out here doing, responsibility, accountability come in with that too, man. You know, that's why we out here, you know, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua set us as an example, all right, as the world too, man, all right, for us to freely get out here and receive this information from the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we get out here and give it. That way, you can follow suit and get on the same boat we on, man. Walk the same path that we going down, you know?
Right. And you know, we didn't give two fucks about, you know what I'm saying, testing the water and jumping out there and trying it, even if he had to ask Yahushua for confirmation on a breakdown, Peter. Peter jumped. That's why he was the first one to jump off that boat. Lord, can I come to him with you? Peter didn't give no fucks about none of that. Peter just wanted to be with the Lord. That's it. That's the same mindset that we had to be in. Same thing with King David.
Yep. Yeah, they try. Yeah, that's important too, because they try to say Peter was naked right there. He got butt naked. He had on trousers. Back then, that was known as like being nude.
Yeah,
you know, like you take off all your overgarment.
Yeah.
And then they say when he got back in the boat, he put on his big garment again. So just want to say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people read that, but yeah, he got naked for the Lord.
I ain't saying all that. Like,
would you do that? Would you love the Lord that much?
No. Lord, really, you just took off all your clothes, right? Really?
That's what they be doing in church. All right, Proverbs 25.
What church is that?
Proverbs 25:19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble, and this is the time of trouble,
right?
And 2/3 of our people are unfaithful. So confidence in an unfaithful man in the time of trouble is like a broken tooth or a foot out of joint.
You can't do shit with it. You can't do shit with it. You can't eat or you can't walk.
Right. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather. Yeah.
It's freezing.
and as vinegar upon nitrate, like chemistry.
Yeah.
It causes that to boil over, like the Lord's anger.
Yeah.
And a foot out of joint. Oh, so like it. So is he that singeth songs to a heavy heart. Let me get one more real quick.
Okay.
All right. Is that what you said? The Lord is asking that. Who's gonna stand up?
Yeah.
You know. Psalms 94 and 16.
Yeah, like singing songs to those with a heavy heart, because that's why we just read, put away heaviness from thy heart, man.
Yeah, you singing to them, they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear that shit, bro.
Come on with all that good music right now.
Come on, good. Sing some sad shit.
Sing some sad shit, man.
For real, that's how our people are. Listen, sing some sad shit. I don't want to hear that. Tell me about how to get money. That's some sad shit, bro.
Don't speak it to me right,
That's some sad shit,
Speak
bro.
it to me smooth, man.
That's the state of mind of our people, man. It's sad.
Yeah, they call evil good and good evil. They call what we doing sad and depressing. But really what they listening to is sad and depressing.
Right, you just heard it over there.
Psalm 94 and 16. That was a one-hit wonder. He out of there.
Yeah.
It says 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or they see all the evil happening. You know, how you gonna fight that type of fight?
Right.
You know?
You gotta know how to fight it. You gotta
That's right.
train, man.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And you gotta do it spiritually. You gotta be willing to stand up spiritually, man, to fight this fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fight against the evildoers. So there's a lot of evildoers on this earth, especially starting with Esau.
God.
So who's gonna stand up against them, man? For to be a hedge in the way, to be a hedge for their people.
God.
To stand up in the gaps, like the Lord said about Moses.
God.
To bring peace between the children of Israel and the Father, man.
God.
Forming that Voltron before the danger comes.
Giving our people a sense of hope, man. Are you gonna stand up and do that? Or are you gonna let Esau intimidate you with the fear tactics that he put on everybody else?
Right.
Anybody got a precept? You got one precept?
Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that reads,
Right.
and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Time is at hand. You want to speak on it, brother?
You know, those two scoffers that came last time, they were talking a lot, but they weren't paying attention. You can tell they didn't read either, right? Even when the elder and the bishop told them the true name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, they made jokes at it, right? And it kept insisting and quoting that other blue-eyed, long, blonde hair who likes to wear high heels. You know, instead of humbling themselves.
What, Giuliani? Oh, Mayor Giuliani?
Was that the guy?
He just filed for bankrupt because all that money he got to pay for being sued.
Caesar Borgia.
Caesar Borgia, there you go.
You talking about Esau?
Okay.
In general.
High heels.
You know, they should have read more and they should have came with their Bible so they could have seen that we were being sincere and speaking the truth in the name of Yahweh Shai.
But think about it. Really listen to that scripture you just read. Blessed are he that read it and they that hear the words. They can read all day, but they can't hear what the Lord is saying. The Lord is talking to them. They don't have the comprehension, though. They thinking way over here when the Lord really over there.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So the Lord gave certain voices to speak his word, like he said with Jeremiah, to be a spokesman to the world. And then he gave some ears to hear and the mind to digest it, and the eyes to see the prophecies. And if it's not set up like that, he got it set up like that. You know? Just like when the prophets were teaching during the time of the disciples, he said, don't worry about it when you go to another city. I got people there waiting for you that believe already. So meaning he goes before us, right? So that means he's already here. He already set things in place before us for the believers to believe. You know, there was one dude that said that before. He said there was no fruit in Jacksonville, but look, we got fruit.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to see through the Lord's eyes. He was the old second in command of the camp in Jacksonville. Tayal, where the hell you at, bro? Shaving your beard somewhere and shit.
He where he supposed to be.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
He where he supposed to be. All right, we good over here? Down here? All right.
Yeah, call him out, man.
Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and served its purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. And you want to say,
Oh, wait.
no? You got one more? All right. We're gonna bring out one more scripture though.
Yeah, this is your accountability.
Come
All right. This is Mark 13 and 34. You can stop me whenever you want.
Okay.
It says, "For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey,
Oh yeah.
who left his house and gave authority to his servants."
And that was the topic the point I was expounding upon earlier in the lesson. Like, you know what I'm saying? When he sat on the right hand side of the Father, he left responsibility unto his men that truly believe in his presence when he was here. Even though he's on his right hand side of the Father, he still exists on this earth through his men.
Right. Yeah, this is a business, man.
Right.
The Lord is a man of war, so he dot all his I's and got all his T's crossed, man. You know, you gotta be careful saying that with church. Cross, yeah.
Blood of the cross.
Yelling down the background somewhere, man. It says, for the son of man is as a man taking a far journey. Think about that, man. That's why I say the fourth dimension is a place and it's a transition.
Yeah.
So when we die, we immediately in the fourth dimension. But also the scriptures say the spirit goes upward. So it travels too. So the fourth dimension is a place and a place to transition into. You know? So it says here, for the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, right? Who left his house and gave authority to his servants, made us the trustees, accountants, right? To every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all. Watch. You ain't gonna be able to say nothing, man. It's gonna be too late.
Right.
If the Lord catch everybody with their mind still in this world, they're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
They're gonna be held accountable for that, man. They're gonna be held accountable for not hearing the Lord's voice, for not heeding to the call. While the doors of grace are open.
Man.
He said, "Wisdom cried without," you know, and the scripture say that. Then shall they be in miserable case.
Pitiful
case.
Yeah,
same
really,
thing.
really pitiful. And at the end of it said, the same shall know it after death by pain. Throw that in there. Okay. So that's what you're gonna be held accountable for if your mind's still stuck in this world.
Right. It's right here. It said Proverbs 1 and 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. So not just they love this place and they have disbelief, but you also have scorners or scoffers too that's fighting against the Lord. Not one that's just pulling away. You got something that's going against them. And it says, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Man, they're showing their hatred towards knowledge.
Yeah.
All right? But they're going to be held accountable for that. Turn you at my reproof. So you hear the man of the Lord speaking, reproving you according to the scriptures, you're supposed to turn back towards the Lord and follow his way. Because I will pour out my spirit unto you, I will make known my words unto you. So the Lord made everything available so that you'll have no excuse. The Lord's judgment is righteous. He left the door open. He put his word out here. So they have no excuse in that day. So they're going to be held accountable for it.
Right.
Because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So you were mocking the Lord when he was upset. So the Lord gonna mock these people when they fear come, man. So they're gonna be held accountable for that. For when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. So in that moment, that split moment, when you see the destruction coming, that's when these thoughts gonna come into their heart. Oh shit! This was boom.
What you say that name?
This is the brother was talking about around the corner.
They gonna try. They were trying to figure the name. Your arm. Trying to figure that shit out.
Here I am.
I know the name.
All right, yeah. It says, when you fear, it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer them. They shall seek me early and shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, they would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Once again.
Boom. And the Lord gonna stand on it.
Right,
Bottom line.
Yeah, he's checking his list. Checking in twice. Don't find out if you're naughty or nice.
Yeah. Yahweh Shai is coming to town. Hey, he coming to bring destruction too. What we looking like? All right, we'll go ahead and shut it down.
Any precepts? Y'all good? Any precept?
I want to get
Yeah, he probably got one.
prayer of Manasseh
Yeah, you can bring that up.
on accountability. This is prayer of Manasseh, king of Judah, when he was holding captive in Babylon. And so it's a whole prayer, but I'm gonna jump down.
Yeah, he was being wicked. He tried to repent at the last moment. What was Jake gonna do?
My transgressions, O Yahweh, are multiplied. My transgressions are multiplied, and I am not worthy to behold and see the height of heaven. For the multitude of mine iniquities, I am bowed down with many iron bands that I cannot lift up my head, neither have any release. For I have provoked thy wrath and done evil before thee. I did not thy will, neither kept thy commandments. I have set up abominations and have multiplied offenses. Now therefore I bow the knee of mine heart, beseeching thee of grace. I have sinned, O Yahweh, I have sinned, and I acknowledge mine iniquity.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna read the whole one, but just talking on
Acknowledge.
accountability.
They're gonna acknowledge it according to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. He said, somebody get that real quick. We gotta do with that. That's the accountability. That's right. You want to speak on it?
That same thing, accountability. You know, he had to acknowledge his sins. You know, even though he was in bands. Right now, you know, we're in bands. You know, physically and mentally. So that's what we have to do. Like the brother was saying, we have to acknowledge.
Right. Once we acknowledge it, those bands are broken. Once we acknowledge those bands are broken by Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
So 2/3 had a lot of people have their heart seared with their conscience seared with a hot iron. That shit sends into their brain the ways of this world, man. And they won't acknowledge the Lord, man. We out here saying, yo, the mighty power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that created the heavens and earth is about to bring judgment. They be like, oh, that's interesting. Yo,
movie?
yeah, yeah.
When does it come out?
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, brother.
Somebody got it? Psalm chapter 5?
Yeah. Let's go hand in hand with with Manasseh. With the prayer of Manasseh.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right. So that's the men of the Lord that recognized the responsibility and held themselves accountable and stood up as men as a great exceeding army to stand up for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
And made no account of his labors.
Right. But these other nations, the 2/3 of our people, are not making any account for our labors, man. They care less about what we're doing. Go ahead.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They see the prophecies, that's right.
Right.
So
that's when they're gonna be doing the prayer of Manasseh. when they see that. But it ain't gonna work.
Yep. Us, we doing that now. We pray every time.
Right.
We pray at the Passover. We pray on the holy days.
Right.
We pray when we're in our homes. We
Right.
pray, amongst the occupants.
Yeah.
So we're already acknowledging our transgressions
God.
by acknowledging Yahweh as well. That's what it said. It said, handle not my. He said, treat not my name in vain. How it go? Thou shalt not keep my name in vain.
Yeah.
Something like that. Take my name in vain. Thank you. Yeah, take my name in vain.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not supposed to take his name in vain, meaning treat it like it's not important. He want to be acknowledged.
God.
That's why I was reading something the other day in the scripture. I forget what I was reading. It said, then were my eyes towards the heavens, meaning they're acknowledging the Most High, man. And these people don't want to do that. Their eyes are pointed towards the ground, acknowledging the things on the earth.
Then pretty soon their eyes gonna be looking. When they desire to look at the heavens, their eyes gonna be looking towards the missile.
Right. They acknowledge the work and not the work master.
Right.
You know
What does it say? Wisdom Psalm 13. Surely vain are men
Yeah.
that acknowledge the works, but not the work master. Right,
Right, man.
Paraphrase.
But they will. They will, man.
God.
We got to know that, though. We got to know that. Even though they're not right now, they will one day.
God.
So we just got to do the things it take for that praise and that glory and that acknowledgement to be shown to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And that's it. We don't need to take nothing personal or emotional from these people no more. We need to go numb. We need to go spiritual in the midst of this matrix, man. That's right. You got to start meditating more. Not like them damn Hindus, but meditate. Meditate on the scriptures. Meditate on your breathing. Watch the world move while you stay still. Sometimes, you know what I mean? And then walk in that same way. Right? So that means master your ability, master your skill, which is in this truth. Right. Yes, if you're chasing at the mastery, like a lot of people that's in the martial arts, they're chasing at the mastery, they don't have time for all this worldly shit. And the Lord calling us to the same thing in his temple. Treat it like a dojo. And when he say, I'm in your temple praying to you, man, you got to see that and visualize that. Go ahead, brother. My bad. Wisdom Solomon, somebody read? All right, that's what time it is, man. Let them be held accountable for the path they have chosen, and we be held accountable for ours.
This is back at Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 3.
Yep.
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit.
There go that prayer of Manasseh. Repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit. It's going to be too late.
Shall say within themselves.
You got the slingshot? No, I'm just fucking. I'm just playing, bro. You want to take him off? Go ahead and take him out. There, brother.
It says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
There you go, and a proverb of reproach. That's right. Go ahead. So they were blaming us, talking trash to us, all that. Go ahead.
Verse 4, we.
Yeah, I know, man.
Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints?
Now you got to bring them.
So that's what the people are saying for us now, because when we chose to take accountability or take responsibility of men of the Lord, people looked at us as we were foolish, and that our lot wasn't going to be amongst the saints, or that it wasn't going to get us anywhere, because we weren't out here chasing behind the dollar like everybody else is doing. We're chasing the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, which is really being presented to us by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but showing initiative that we really want to take, that we really want to be a part of the kingdom set for his son, that he's allowing us to be a part of. We're not worthy for none of this. But the Lord is giving us a portion, all right, like he promised us back in the day. That was it.
That's the point, like the accountability.
Yeah. So holding ourselves accountable, right, and moving according to that, and taking initiative and being responsible for the tokens that were left down here for us to take in representation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, we're gonna close it out. And we're going to give all honor and glory to the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit of truth and their proper names in the holy tongue, the Allah Shema Kodash. I say, Kal, Alayim, La, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash, Abba. Double honor to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and double honor to our elder, Harawan, who rule well and teach well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.
The Hulk is out there. And I'm finna.
Hiding somewhere.
Right.